One of my favorite Jungian authors is James Hollis. And in his book, Why Good People Do Bad Things, he gives a series of questions that help us get at the shadow side, that help us bring to consciousness those understandings that we would rather not look at. Let me share a few of those questions with you this morning. I was in a workshop with him in which he tried out some of these questions on us, and I found them very revealing for me. So I want to give you a few of those. First, he says, since we all aspire to virtue, what do you consider to be your greatest virtue? All right, I want to pause and let you think about that. What do you think is your greatest virtue? Now, is there any time in your life when that virtue has been harmful to others? Think it over. Second, what annoys you most about your partner or others in general? He quotes his sagacious wife as defining a committed relationship as the act of finding someone you can annoy for a very long time. Is it not possible that we chose that person because of that very annoyance? Perhaps it's easier to blame another than to deal with our own shadow stuff. Third, how do you repeatedly undermine yourself? Where do you flee from your best, your riskiest self? Fourth, where do mom and dad still govern your life? Now, of course, not literally, but through a set of messages that you have internalized. Where do mom and dad still govern your life? Speaking of mom and dad still governing a life, let me tell you the story of a woman I know, a business acquaintance. For years, she was preoccupied taking care of her ailing parents. Every time I would see her, she would speak of their illnesses, their medical appointments, their frailty. She had a boyfriend also she would speak of from time to time, but he was kind of last on the list of her concerns, since after all, she was a dutiful daughter and her parents were ill and she was responsible for them. So this went on for about 10 years or so when I knew her, and then the parents died. Both of them died, first one and then the other not too long after that. So I thought, well, at last she will be able to make a commitment to her long-suffering boyfriend. And so I asked her, so are you and Steve going to get married now? And she said, well, no, they had broken up, and she really didn't have all that much time to be with him anyway because her next-door neighbors were elderly and needed her care. And so she was involved with taking them to the doctor and helping them to get their meds. How much was she choosing her life? And how much was she living out of a pattern that she had been given? To live in the shadow without awareness is to forego your full humanity, your splendor as a human being. Bringing the dark side into consciousness means not putting the blame out there. No, Scott McClellan, you were not misled by the administration. You consciously misled others, and lots of them, over and over again. Living with awareness means that you will be less likely to wound the one you love, to betray your friend, to be unkind to the stranger. For you will understand in all humility that we share this condition of fallible human flesh, that we want to do the good and often fail at doing so. When we place ourselves above other people, judge them as other, we are tearing out a part of our own human heart. It is all too easy to remain entangled in the very thing we wish to flee. It's not the devil. It's not others. It's not mom and dad. It's our own unwillingness to do the hard work of growing up, of accepting all that we are, and then of making the choices that would set us free. Sometimes we are visited by grace in one blessed form or another, And we come to understand that we are not determined by our history. We are not, and our country is not. We come to see that we are holy stuff, called to choose, called to bless the world with the uniqueness of our life, our one life that is like no other, a life that has never been and will never be again. Though we are fated to live in mystery, we will never understand it all. We are able to stand as witnesses to the truth that new choices can be made, that love can heal, and that what is partial can be made whole. So be it. Amen.